Another new week, and it begins on a Tuesday. We're racing at the Vaal in the Northern Free State. It is a very, very busy and a potentially hectic Tuesday that awaits us on the old track. We're back on the old track full time. Well, just before we get into our racing programming for this week, a reminder that you can get us hold of us on our Twitter handle, in fact, our X handle that is formerly known as Twitter, or alternatively WhatsApp, and tell us exactly how you saw those great finishes to Saturday's racing, which saw literally marginal finishes, marginal margins that separated the winner from the runner-up in the Pick Six. All right, let's start the new week with a look at the Vaal Racing. Monday, of course, is a quiet day, no local. But Mr. Marie, hope you are refreshed. Welcome back, and hopefully your break was very much what you needed.
Yeah, some great time spent with my family. Thank you very
Indeed,
much.
quality family time, nothing beats that. Right, hopefully you have come back recharged, because it is a car that will need you at your very, very, very best. By the way, just to tell you that we are flying solo with Mr. Marie, but we'll be back with Mr. Burrows for the remainder of the week. Right, Daryl, race number 2, we've got the scratching of the one Alcaraz that's recently come through. Joint favoritism at the moment, the 3 lead the charge, and the 4 Moonlight Trader, the former racing in those colors of Ready to Charge, who was back to winning ways for the Azzies, and the 4 Moonlight Trader and the Captain Silks. They're both at around a 16-1 lead the charge. Last seen at Kenilworth on the 20th of Jan, whilst Moon Trader will be going for a third outing, and hopefully we should see a win. I know you're not going to get us into a banker. I hope you're not going to get us to banker the first leg of the bipod.
I'm really not confident in the first leg of the bipod, so let's firstly touch on the false rail. It's quite interesting because the way it's set up, in my opinion, it could be favouring horses drawn low or up the inside, but time will tell. I mean, we are going into this meeting a bit blind, so I have played cautiously. Cecil, opening leg of the bipod, I'll put in numbers 3 and 4, the obvious ones. I wouldn't be surprised to see the first timer, number 5, make a winning debut, Page Boy, but the comment in the front of the book isn't upbeat whatsoever. Mr. Terry said should need the experience. Now let's firstly touch on number 3, Lead the Charge. We know he's a brother to Ready to Charge, who's a sprinter, but he's by Lancaster Bomber. On debut, he wasn't really doing much towards the end of the race, but now he steps up in trip from 1,000 meters to 1,400. So let's see how he goes. There have been a few indirect and direct winners from his debut run. Number 4, Moonlight Trader. I think he's more certain to get the trip. 2 fair efforts to date. If you like his chances, you have to have respect for number 7, who wasn't far behind him whatsoever. But I think being out of Erupt by Silvana Mare, or by Erupt out of a Silvana Mare, I think the 1,400 will certainly suit, and watch him when he goes further. Yeah, Cecil, he's half brother by Vaal, 1 over a mile. So I think he is more certain to get the distance. So I'm leaning towards the 4 over the 3.
Right, so we were looking at, we had an early glimpse while you were rounding off your preview to that first leg of the bipod, 3 and 4. And of course, we do know the mother was very effective. Marco van Rensburg, I remember, got a tune out of St. Firmin. He did well for the Azzies and loved to be a front runner, and went over as far as 1,800, 200. 2,000 meters, so was certainly the further the better for Lead the Charge. We should be off with that first leg of the bipod, race number 2, the second of 9, at 20 minutes to 1. Okay, so we move on to that first leg of the PA race number 3 now. In an ideal world, the first 3 races have the Azzy stable sending out what is a favorite or one of the co-favorites in the case of race number 2. In race number 3, 19-10, is the price about the one African Beauty. This is another Lancaster Bomber that tops the boards, last seen at Turpentine. Now debuted on a classic day that was in the Ruffian Stakes, and met a certain Almond Sea, who was not ready to give up her crown yet. And of course, we've since heard that Almond Sea, after a little bit of heat exhaustion, is ready and well for the next task ahead. 19-10 African Beauty, that is your favorite in race number 3. Again, a 2-year-olds, Mr. Marie, never really confident about putting your whole house on there.
Yeah, Cecil, I haven't banked it over here. I've gone with numbers 1 and 7. Let's touch on the current favorite, African Beauty. Now, She falls into a very similar camp as Greatrix. Now, Greatrix debuted in the Stormbird Stakes. He had 2 winners ahead of him, and he was beaten quite some distance, but yet in his second start, he made the natural improvements and won impressively. Yeah, African Beauty, she debuted in the Ruffian, Wilgerbosdrift Ruffian. The 2 fillies that finished ahead of her both had winning form coming into the race, Almond Sea and one of Mr. Miller, Mark Miller's. And she was beaten a long way. She's backed up soon, but she stepped up in distance this time round, and we can see her show plenty improvement from her debut effort. So she is one of the leading lights over here. But I'll tell you what, Cecil, I watched the debut of Mr. Gerald Sadler's Pathful filly, Olivia's Way, and I thought that was eye-catching. You know, going into the first bend, things didn't really go away. She was pushed out wide, and if you watch her towards the latter stages of that race, she really rallied strongly. So I'm keen to see how she goes in her second start. I had a look at her breeding because I wasn't impressed with her debut. You know who she's related to, Cecil?
My lovely, the mother, Warpass. I'll give it.
The horse that won the biggest purse recently, Rapidash.
Oh, Rapidash. That was, of course, the 5 million rand first
Yes,
prize.
yeah.
Rapidash. This is a relation of Rapidash.
That's right.
In fact, I should know that. 7 Olivia's Way. All right, and of course, the ownership going through a bit of a purple patch.
Yes, yeah.
And this one, in fact, I recall talking to Casey before the race itself, Casey Borter, who was assistant to Mr. Magna, and she suggested that after the debut effort, I want to keep an eye on.
Well, there we go. So there's a bit of confidence coming from the yard. So 1 and 7 will suffice over here.
Right, let's go through those selections. 1 and 7. The banker comes up in race number 4, ran by coincidence. The stable of the 7 will give us that banker in leg number 2. That is your PA. Starting race 3, and that's an off time of a 1:15, a maiden juvenile plate over the 1400 meters. On to race 4 we go. This is the 4th of a 9 of the start of the pick 6, and we should be off at 10 minutes to 2. A reminder, you can get a hold of us on our X handle or alternatively on our WhatsApp number. Now, hopefully, Daryl, we won't be playing with fire in going with your banker in that first leg of the pick 6, and I think you're pretty keen on the chances of the Magna offspring of Virgin Getrix, the 3-year-old daughter of Virgin Getrix, rather, going by the name of Springer. Gavin Arena is back aboard after missing that ride last time out.
Yes, Cecil. You know, I've always had my reservations about this daughter of Vercingetorix, but I think this is the ideal race for her to get it right. It's not a strong field whatsoever. She's having her peak run coming to this race. She's well drawn. I thought she was moving much better last time out, and the tongue tie gets fitted, which is the reason for her below par, well, not below par effort, which is the reason why she disappointed last time out, because she was strongly fancied in the betting. So I think that could be the winning move over here, is fits in the tongue tie. So coupled with the right field that she bumps. So I am in the camp of Springer. I've taken my chances and I am bankering her in the opening leg of the pick 6. If you don't want to bank her, I'd suggest maybe including second base's half-sister, number 9, Sensual Kiss. She's going to love the step up in trip. It was a fair enough debut. In my mind, she didn't show enough on debut to get it right in her second start, which is the reason why I'm bankering Springer. You know, last time that Springer ran behind Play with Fire, who came out and won. In her penultimate start, she actually beat a filly, Super Skits, by 5 lengths. She's won since then. So this is the right field for her to get it right. Banker number 1, Springer. If you want to back her up, number 9, Sensual Kiss is the improver in the race.
And I see also got Total Springer in the DNA
Yes.
there. So quite
Total Surrender.
Total Surrender, rather.
Yeah.
Also in the same silks as
Yes.
bred, I think, by Mr. Shaw. Huh?
That's right. Yes.
That's right. All right, let's have a look at that selection for race number 4. Springer, we have been sold a Springer, and Mr. Marie can be a very good salesman, so we are going to go with his banker there. And I think it's the right place to actually take a chance with that banker, because it's going to get tough as we progress. 13.50, 10 to 2 is your off time to race 4. Okay, so we go on to race number 5. I can tell you that there is one important omission, a very red hot informer, positive attitude, who was going for that 3 on the bounce and was looking to make it back-to-back victories at the Vaal, has been unfortunately scratched, and that is due to being off feed. But hopefully, positive attitude will be back and not too far off. Right, as far as favoritism in race number 5 is concerned, positive attitude was certainly up there. 20 drachmas has certainly been holding form since that maiden win is at 5 to 1. 11 to 2, the 3. Slinky Mapimpi from the 1600 goes up to the 2400 for the Formulans. Number 4, Professor Snape is at 8 to 1. It is 17 to 2. And better bar those quoted runners. So positive attitude is gone. Rennie is a horse that is going to drive me to the poorhouse.
Yes, Cecil, I don't know if you've seen the equipment changes, but she is being fitted with a set of blinkers.
Yes.
And we've seen her stay in the past, so the distance shouldn't be a problem whatsoever. She's best weighted. If you have a look at the best weighted column, albeit only half a pound, but she comes into this race well treated. So I think she's going to show marked improvements on that return. So she does form part of my play. Slinky Mapimpi interests me. I mean, yeah, you got a son of Coup de Gras, who's normally, well, I think he performed over sprinting trips, and the maximum he got was 7 furlongs, if I'm not mistaken, Cecil. So really keen to see how he goes over the 2400. I thought his post-maiden form is actually encouraging, but he does have stamina doubts. Another horse that let me down from that form line, Cecil, is Royal Edition. I thought himself and Slinky Mapimpi ran above their ratings, and Royal Edition fluffed his lines over the weekend.
Saturday wasn't just in the race at all.
Yeah, he never. Yes. So let's see how Slinky Mapimpi goes. I mean, we can't sit here and say he's not guaranteed to stay. So you have to have respect for him. Professor Snape, I loved his effort last time out. He showed a lot more. Excuse me, Kessel. A lot more interest in running. So I think if he can put in a similar effort to that, he will be thereabouts at the finish. I know many people are going to sit and say that I'm crazy tipping Mambo to Comtesio over Arlington Action because of the weight reversal, but I liked what I saw in his return, and he is not an inside track horse, Mambo Comtesio, and he's not an 1800 meter horse, so stepping up to the extended trip, being fitter this time round, a longer run in, I think you can see Mambo Comtesio feature in an event like this. So Professor Snape's going to be my leading light. Thereafter, very, very open.
Yeah, I had a look at the index column in the computer form, and you are in very, very good company. I had to look 2-3 times at the bookmakers' pricing at this stage, 20 to 1 about Mambo Comtesio. But Mr. Rod Bakers makes it his value bet of the day, and he tips it to win the race, even before positive attitude was scratched.
20 to 1.
Very, very much so. There it is. That is jackpot 1, 3, 4, 5, and 8. Of course, the 5 is a scratching. You either leave in to hopefully double up, venturing on whoever the favorite is, or you find a replacement in a race number 5. Weighted to Winner, proudly sponsored by Betway. Another successful Saturday gone with our feature race sponsored by Betway, and well done to the connections of the winner of the race. One fell swoop. Certainly is going from strength to strength. A very competitive field for the 2024 renewal of the Sycamore, held at Turpentine over the 1160. Anyway, let's get to race number 6. It is a sprint event, 1200 meters for the Racehorse Owners Association classified as stakes. Big fields are the order of the remainder of the afternoon, and your favoritism right now, it is early doors, is a Midnight Fusion, Pierce Striker, Stratum, Sean Terry, team up, and that is a 3 to 1. Number 3, Open Highway, 7 to 2, 11 to 2 out from 5 to 1 is a 5. Thing Called Love, 7 to 1 is the 13 Risky Business, and then it's double figures about the remainder. I've got to say, Daryl, since relocating to the Farney Bronco stable from the Bass Robinson stable in the Western Cape, Open Highway has certainly caught the eye, and I believe we can see Open Highway give another very, very forward performance. Smile Kumaro's in the saddle for Farney Broncos.
Yeah, so I won't be too chuffed if he wins, to be honest, because my perms are so expensive. I had to
Leave out something.
yeah, leave a few
Yeah.
out, and he was one of them.
One of the victims.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah, I
know
mean
how it
he's
feels.
he's very consistent in his two efforts on the high field. So you have to have respect for him. I can say if you are wanting to go wider, please include him. Cecil, by now I don't know if we'll know where the best going is,
Yeah.
but Midnight Fusion's towards the inside, and my second pick, Falcon Strike, is towards the outside. Let's see how they go. But Midnight Fusion, last time out, I thought. Now, Striker owns this horse first of all. Last time out, she wasn't
Oh,
overdoing
yes,
it.
there was so much buzz around the
Yes,
horse.
they all arrived on track, I believe. But she wasn't overdoing it. She just had the worst draw to contend with on that occasion. And if you have a look at that form line, it's working out extremely
War Queen
well.
has come out.
In the Ethers won 2 since then.
Yeah.
Who else did you say?
War
War
Queen.
Queen won very impressively.
Uh-huh.
Another horse that won
Subsequent
2.
winner, Law of Success.
Yes, she's
and
won
another
2.
subsequent winner, Red Carpet Girl.
Correct. So she's off a very competitive mark, but she needs to settle because now she's been stepped up to 1200, and she needs the track to be fair, spread right across for her to have a winning chance. So I can see her featuring over here. Falcon Strike, I just believe he's better than his current rating.
I think so.
He's dropped right down to a 76. I see they're bringing him back in trip. He was traveling extremely well in his second run after rest. So I like the fact that he's coming back in distance. Having his peak run, I think he's going to be right there at the finish. If you like Midnight Fusion, you have to have respect for Lady Elliot.
You read my mind. I was
She's-
going to say, I hope you didn't cut it out.
Yeah, she's 4.5 kilograms better off, and she's got the fitness on her side. And we have to touch on number 5, Thing Called Love. I know form lines aren't strong, but we haven't seen the best of her to date.
Okay. And then finally, the 9 Empress game. Is this one of those who suffered the chop, the cruel Marie chop?
No,
Comes out of that Nettleton form line also.
Yeah, she just didn't form part of my plan.
All right. So there it is. Finally, after all the scratchings, you are down to 1, 2, 5, and 6. And it must be said that they do look on paper to be the ones that to be on, especially the last named horse by Darryl, Thing Called Love. Could be anything after that maiden win. That's an off time to race number 6, the last chance to get involved in a jackpot of the Vaal. 1,500 hours, the classified stakes over the 1,200. Right, so it is the race number 8 now. We in our previous preview, that was one of our previous previews, that to race number 6, Mr. Marie did point out that Striker is riding his own horse, trained by Sean Terry, that is Midnight Fusion in race number 6. He teams up with another familiar sort in a race number 8, and that is a very, very, very consistent whirly. That will be in a race number 8. They will be teaming up, and that, of course, is with Mr. Clinton Binder in tow, the trainer of what has been a great horse to own, a 9-year-old. 83 runs for 13 wins. Now, just a quick look at the betting for race number 8. Let's have a quick look at that. It is a big field. We've lost the 7 Cortinos. That is a recent scratching. They're capable on this day, but not to be a runner on Saturday. On Tuesday, I beg your pardon. But we'll come back to that betting. Right, I still have Saturday on my mind after talking about the Sycamore Stakes. What are we doing in a race number 8 while I get the right betting up?
Cecil, I've just tipped a swinger boxed. Yeah, this is a very, very difficult contest, wide open. You know, there's so many runners spread across the track. You don't know where the pace is going to be. Yeah, it's hard, to sit and tip an outright winner. Pocket Watch, I think he's off a competitive mark, Cecil. Very consistent since exiting the maiden ranks. With the cheek pieces, he's been right up there. Yeah, you can expect another fair effort on his behalf. He is drawn towards the inside. So let's see how he goes. But if it's fair across the track, you can see him featuring of yes. So that's number 8, Pocket Watch. Then number 18, you know, this Vaal long straight is a bit of a specialist track. And Archimedes falls into that category. He's at his best up the Vaal straights. So he led for a long way last time out. Samanga, I'm sure, is going to make use of him because he is very fit. And he came down half a pound last time out. So you can see, barring his penultimate starts, he's always thereabouts. And I'm sure they're going to let him stride, and he's probably going to be the one they're going to have to catch inside that final 400 meters. But the horse I'm leaning towards, who's drawn on the opposite side of the track, is Turbo Power. Now, I fancied his chances last time out, and I thought he was desperately unlucky. You know, he really got squeezed on that outside running rail by the favourites, and when he got through that gap, he took off late, but the winner had just got an easier passage in running. But another 200 meters, I'm in the camp of Turbo Power getting the better of Sian the Conqueror. So Felisande gets a ride, drawn hard up against the outside. This track and trip's going to be ideal for him. I just hope that he is on the right side. So I'm going to be leaning towards the 5 Turbo Power, but my swinger is backed up with the 2 horses down the inside.
Okay, so what about your selection last time? You were pretty keen on the chances of number 6, the Work of Time.
I
was
was.
doing best work late, stable banging form. The last 3 meetings we've had at Turvendine, they've had 6 winners.
Yeah, they're flying at the moment. Yeah, it would have been nice if she happened to win last time out.
Yeah.
Cecil, yeah, once again, the day is very, very difficult. So I
Day
could
is
be
long.
way off the mark.
Days long, and it's going to be, and maybe this is a cryptic one, it is going to take a lot of time, and it's going to take a lot of work. 5, 8, and 18. That is the Boxster swinger. Take it many times, 5, 8, and 18, and you could be on the right side of the result. That is Turbo Power. The 8, that is Pocket Watch, and the 18 is the Archimedes. That is race number 8, a last chance to get involved in a double at the Vaal on Tuesday.